So, I've tried to make this video like 70 times in 70 different ways to try to get it out by June 1st. It is now June 24th, and I still haven't recorded it. I literally just started recording it now. I wanted to get this out before Pride Month even started. Like, this video is going to be uploaded and scheduled by Pride Month, the first day. But it ended up not happening. But I feel like I want to tell an abridged version of my story of figuring out how I was trans. You see, it all started when I was born. Nah, I'm just kidding. I ain't going that far back. But let's go back to around 5th grade. Around this time, a lot was changing. Middle school was going to start in a year. Friends and family were getting older, but something in me changed. Something I didn't really like. Puberty. It was puberty. I hated it. I hated how I was looking. I hated everything about myself. I was losing any and all confidence I had, and I just felt like I was in the wrong body, and it wasn't dysmorphia. I've been a very big person my whole life, I'm going to be honest, and I knew deep down that this wasn't just because of the way I looked physically. It was something deeply rooted in me. Something felt like I was not born the way I was meant to be, and I was very different from a lot of the men in my life. Like, really different. I didn't fit in, but I assumed that eventually I would. Right? In 6th grade, we were tasked to do a project on someone who had a huge influence on society. Specifically, it had to be a more recent person. And when I was picking someone, I found someone who was a trans girl. I was curious to do my assignment on her, but decided against it later on because I just was like, I don't know if she would like that. Then someone ended up actually doing their assignment on her and got an A, and I got a C. So maybe I should have. I don't know. I was just a really bad English kid in middle school. I didn't really start doing well in middle school until I was like in freshman year of high school. Anyway, ADHD, sorry. When I got home though, I started to research more on it. I was basically curious. The brief description on Google led me down a path to figuring out what trans girls and what trans people are in general. And I found something I wasn't expecting. I related to their struggles and what they were talking about. The feeling of not belonging, the feeling like I was in the wrong body. I just couldn't believe it. Something for the first time in my ADHD life was making fucking sense. I just decided to turn off my iPod and went to bed. I couldn't be trans. Could I? I don't know if this was a universal experience, but after that, I didn't embrace my identity. I chose to run from it, and I was still hiding from the fact that I wasn't straight, so wasn't sure if I wanted to address this as well. After a while, I was like, I am clearly not trans, I am just confused. I say that, I would try to sneak off to try on girls' clothing, try to buy makeup when I had any money to, or just try to wear makeup in general, trying to be in girl conversations despite immediately getting kicked out, and then having to go back to men, and then not enjoying myself. Eventually, in 7th grade, I tried to run away from it even more and embrace the guy I was supposed to be. This made me extremely toxic, hateful towards everyone, an extremely bad person. After that, I did a lot of soul searching and escaped onto the internet. Eventually, I decided to identify as non-binary. because it just felt like the one that would allow me to still fit into the bubble I was supposed to be, but have a little bit of more control of who I wanted to be. But I knew that wasn't right. I knew I was just hiding from what I really was and who I was supposed to be, and I just needed to embrace it. So you think after a while, especially in high school, I would? No, I didn't. In fact, even though I was better to hang out with, I still wasn't the greatest. Not as bad as before, but just kind of a dick. And at the end of 10th grade in high school, I had to go to summer school, and I met a group of friends that led me to download Discord. And with that, they made me join their server, and there I met, well, you know who he is. And it was great for the first couple of months, but eventually I felt like I had to keep hiding who I really was from him, and it caused me to be more distant. I was not being completely honest with what I really was, and eventually I came out to him as non-binary, and he took it well, as well as I would have hoped. And you think telling him would have helped, but it didn't. I felt like that wasn't what I really wanted to say to him when I told him I'm non-binary. I wanted to say, and I remember this in the back of my mind, I wanted to say to him, I am a girl. And I just couldn't. And after a while, I just kept ignoring it, kept living a lie. Around this time as well, I joined a Discord server called Mochi and met a bunch of wonderful and amazing people. And I met someone called Adrian, and we just became really good friends, and now he's basically like a big brother to me. And after a while of talking, I finally talked to him about how I felt. I mean, he knew I was non-binary, but eventually I just told him how I was feeling like a girl, and I had this dream where Supergirl was a trans girl. That's the best way to put it. And eventually, I put my foot down and shouted to the skies, I'm a trans girl. Sorry for not actually shouting it, I'm recording this really late. You think that's would be where the story ended there, right? Nope. Eventually, I was like, after realizing I was trans, you think I would accept it? Nope, I was lying, time to hide again. And then I was like, oh wait, I'm actually gender fluid, because I can then still occasionally affirm my actual gender identity. You know? And then, I say that, and then only want girl clothing, only want to be perceived as a girl and be told I'm just a girl by everyone. This was the identity I went with for a while until 2022 when I started to stream on Twitch and met a bunch of people you all know, and eventually after a while on New Year's Eve when I got the chance to dress femme for the first time in public, I still chose to still kind of hide from it. I decided I wanted to go by she, they pronouns, and I said I'm demigirl. It's like we're getting there. We're so close past Alicia. And in May last year, I went on HRT, and that was the best choice I ever made. And finally, I finally admitted to myself I'm a trans girl. And there's nothing wrong with that, and there should have never been a moment where I decided to run away from it. I should have told myself, fuck, I'm trying not to cry actually. Sorry. I should have told myself this sooner. Even I kind of already did. After that, everything blew up. I was happier. For the first time in my life, I felt joy to wake up in the morning. I felt excited to do things. I was able to enjoy things without caring about trying to impress others. And these feelings only get more and more stronger every day. And for the first time in my life, it felt like I was finally me. And I'd rather be me than what I used to be. On May 10th, 2023, I began my life. My real life. Everything before then was a person I don't remember. I read my old messages from back then, and I just realized how sad and distant I was being with all my friends. And this past year, despite 2023 being a bit of hell for me personally, a lot of it was amazing. And I feel like I'm finally being me, and nothing can stop me from being me. I got excited to write again, and I wrote something just for the fuck of it. And I hadn't done that since I was a kid. You know how great that feels? It's awesome. Sure, I realized I'm not as good as a writer as I thought I was, but, you know, I can now actually write for fun and just improve casually. And then I realized just how much creatively I've, like, just managed to enjoy things. I found myself enjoying so many more movies again. I found myself enjoying so much more, like, creative stuff. I found myself wanting to read again. I found myself wanting to edit more. I just found myself finding a passion for editing that I never knew existed. And it's amazing. And now I just want to say thank you to all of you. To those no longer in my life, I just want to let you know you all were amazing people. And I will never forget you. And to those who are still here, I love you all. You guys are some of my best friends, and I just want you to know that even if we grow apart one day, you guys have made up the best days of my life. And I should say it more because I'm no longer afraid to. And to Moon, my partner, I love you so much. You're the best thing that happened to me. I am so glad I stayed up that night playing Minecraft. It's very funny, that's how we met. You led to a lot more than you will ever know. And without you, I would probably still be in the closet. And so after everything that made me realize I was trans, I'm still living the best life I can. So without further ado, who am I? Are you sure you want to know? I'm Alicia. How are you? When originally I wrote this script, we were at 70 subscribers, and now we're at 100. So, and probably way beyond that by the time this video actually comes out. So I just want to say thank you all. More videos to come. Thank you. Have a good day.